Hey everyone, it's Amanda Stevens, and we are here for the Patreon update number 4. I'm actually feeling like I'm getting a lot better at doing these. Alright, so like I told you guys, we're only going to do these once a month, and it's just going to be sort of a brief update of what I'm doing, what's going on with the Patreon, and sort of like housekeeping. And like I said, you're not getting like 3 a month anymore. I'm really sorry about that. But there was sort of a lot of things to touch on last month, and so I wanted to make sure that I touched on all of them. So, what's going on now? All right, well, we're in September. We are at 48 patrons, and we now make about $208 after payout. Thanks to you guys. Here's where your money is going to. 100 of it went to booking my trip to Canada Cup in October. We will be taking Greyhound. I believe I'll be in Canada from like October 25th, I think, until Halloween. I think I leave Toronto the day before Halloween. So Canada Cup is an FGC event. So we don't have to worry about lodging. We're going to be staying with some good friends in Toronto. And even if I can't stay with those good friends I'm messing with the microphone. Even if I don't get to stay with those good friends the entire trip, I have a lot of friends in the Toronto area thanks to Magic the Gathering. So we should be set for that trip. We're also going to be using some of that money to make our demo reel. I'm trying to do more video work, more on camera stuff, and so I have reached out to a friend who's a really good editor, and I've given him basically the storyboard and clips that I want to use, as well as gave him sort of discretion on what clips he might want to use from interviews that I've done. And yeah, that's going to cost us about $40. So that puts us at $140. The other $60 is going to be used miscellaneously. We're going to buy Hatoful Boyfriend because we don't own it. And I really want to stream it. We also need to pick up a new microphone, because the microphone we have, not this one, but for the camera, we don't have a microphone compatible with the camera, and we're going to need one by Canada Cup. So I don't think that's going to be $60, but who knows? We might also try to buy an external hard drive. I think we're going to prioritize the microphone over the external hard drive. So especially since we don't have a lot of money left in the budget. But yeah, that's sort of where your money is going to from your August payout, I guess September payout. I don't really know how you guys like to track that since you get charged on the 1st. We'll call it the September payout. So yeah. Some number stuff. We were plus 12 patrons and plus $39 from July to August, so that's really cool. That we've only had 2 months where we've seen negative growth since we've come back with a vengeance in last October 2017. So yeah, we're doing really good here at the Sage Gnosis Amanda Stevens Patreon. So thank you for all of that help. Like I said, our next event is going to be Canada Cup. We are also trying to go to Red Bull Conquest in November. So the Patreon, we're gonna try to figure out how we're gonna afford that bus ticket. That's gonna be really tough. But I'm hoping with continued growth, it shouldn't be a problem, especially with how hard I'm going to be pushing Patreon this month. That's why you're going to be seeing a lot more content on the Patreon, because we're going to use the Patreon as a means to show you why I'm a cool person to support. We did a poll recently that I hope you all participate in. It'll be linked. The post will be linked to in the update. The poll is whether or not you guys are okay with me doing non-esports content on the Patreon to allow me to generate more traffic and hopefully get more followers and more patrons. The reason for this is I have radial tunnel in my right arm. I cannot work as much as I would like, which means that a lot of my work has to be the contract work. And then on top of that, I also have, it's also the end of the esports season, right? We just had the International. So I don't feel competent in really doing a lot of Dota content right now. There's only sort of a handful of CSGO events left. There's the NA and EU LCS finals, followed by Worlds, and then there's a couple of fighting games event left, and that's really it. So we're also hitting a point of time where there's just not going to be a lot of room for me to do a lot of esports related stuff. So hopefully you guys are cool with me doing non-esports content. So far, it's looking like you guys are, but I'd love to hear more of your feedback. So please vote in that poll. More housekeeping. Well, this isn't really housekeeping. So you guys have pushed us past the $100 mark. So that means that you guys get 2 Patron exclusive interviews. So we are starting a new interview series called Vision Ward, which this is going to be not a League of Legends only podcast or interview series, right? It's going to be me interviewing journalists, content creators, hosts, interviewers, people who work in esports, and sort of bringing more perspective into who these people are that make the content that you love so much. And also, maybe bringing people into your spectrum that you didn't already know existed. So that's sort of the idea behind the new show. And we're still working out the kinks for the new Smash series that I want to do leading up to the release of Smash Ultimate. I'm trying to talk to a couple of different Smash professionals and doing sort of their origin stories, not just as Smash players, but like who they are as people, what games did they play growing up, things like that. Temporarily, it's called SSB Beginnings, thanks to one of our patrons who suggested it. I don't know if we're going to stick with it because saying it out loud is kind of clunky and corny, but we'll see. I kind of like it when I see it written, so who knows? We might stick with it. But yeah, so your September interviews are going to be with James Banks, and Nicole Carpenter. So yeah, be on the lookout for those. I'm also going to be sharing in the description of this the link to the Trello board where you'll be able to see what I'm doing with Patron content. So you guys will kind of get to see what's going on and like what I'm trying to do for you guys. Now, I also want to let you know that, as I said, I will be buying Hatoful Boyfriend. With buying Hatoful Boyfriend means that I'm going to be... Wow, I lost my train of thought. With getting Hatoful Boyfriend, that means that the stream is coming back. We had to take an extended break from streaming and also gaming because of the radio tunnel. I've been told that I can kind of go back to sort of almost like my old life. So that means that I will be gaming, I will be streaming. Also, Hatoful Boyfriend, not really the most intense game, so streaming it shouldn't be a huge problem. And I'm really excited to do that. After Hatoful Boyfriend, I'm probably going to play something like Dream Daddy, and then I kind of wanted to play Doki Doki Literature Club on stream, but I feel like I missed my boat for that. But yeah, we're probably going to play Dream Daddy after Hatoful Boyfriend. We're going to keep the streams to being something that we can do and interact with you guys, more so than doing streams to get more people to sub to the Twitch, because I don't think I'm ever going to really dedicate a whole lot of time to Twitch. I just see it as another avenue to interact with my fans. I told you guys in the last Patreon update number 3 that we would be doing, we'd have some more announcements. We don't have them, unfortunately. Things have kind of hit the back burner, so there's no big announcements like I was hoping for. It's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. What else? By the time you guys see this, the Gnosis Knockout vlog series will be back in full effect. You will have probably seen Volume 1, Issue 1. If you're wondering how that works, each week is a new volume. So This week is volume 1, next week is volume 2, the week after is volume 3. This week is pretty stream of consciousness style. Next week is going to be volume 2 is going to be more structured. So I really want you guys to give me active feedback on what you think of the two styles and what you prefer, or even after the first one being like, hey, this doesn't really work for us, and maybe I can try to refilm the other issues with a more structured format and not sort of like the way I do these Patreon updates. Also, coming up is we're going to be changing the way that I say the Patreon updates. They're going to be giant-sized Patrons because I'm keeping with the comics theme. So, Patreon Volume 1, Issue 1 is like for the... Well, Gnosis Knockout Volume 1, Issue 1 is going to be the vlog series. Giant-sized Patreon Issue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is how we're going to be using the naming scheme for the Patreon updates. Just having a little bit more fun with all of this stuff because, who wants to be boring? I think I'm going to be doing a somewhat delayed Ranger Appreciation Day because, there was August 28th was named official Power Ranger Day, and I really want to do something more than what you're going to get from a Gnosis Knockout episode coming up this week. We're going to be doing our own Ranger sort of talk. I think I'm probably going to rewatch a series and then talk about it, and that's going to be its own separate video. It's not going to be a Gnosis Knockout, I don't think. I think it'll be its own self-contained thing. What else is there? I'm trying to remember to make sure that I don't miss anything. We told you about who the next interviews are. I told you about Gnosis Knockout. Told you about the Power Rangers episode. We talked about what the money is going to. I think that's it. Oh, if you're a patron and you're not already subbed to the Discord, check your inbox in Patreon because there should be a link to the Discord. There's also, if you go to the updates tab, there is a post about the patron Discord and how you can get to it. It's a pretty cinnamon roll place. So I hope you guys come and hang out with us. And yeah, I hope that you guys like giant-sized Patreons and that you come to like sort of the State of the Union addresses. And yeah, so that's all I have for now. Until next time, make sure to have fun, be kind to each other, and to go beyond and plus ultra.